Hello everybody, and welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to be going over 12 minutes of random, useless, creepy facts. These facts will have plenty of different ranges of different topics, and I hope that you enjoy them. So, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into the video. Enjoy. For the average human, drinking around 6 liters of water in the span of 3 hours will be enough to kill you due to something called water intoxication. Water intoxication leads to the cells in your body to swell up due to a lack of sodium. This is detrimental for your brain, as your brain will begin to hemorrhage if the cells begin to grow too large. The nearest black hole to Earth sits around 1,560 light years away from our solar system. It sits at about 10 times the mass of our sun. The most unsettling part is we had no idea of its existence until 2022. This leaves you wondering if there are any other potential closer black holes that we haven't found. Spiders' blood is a clear, sometimes slightly bluish-tinged blood. This is because spiders have no hemoglobin, which gives blood its bright red color. It is estimated that for every currently living person, there is around 1 billion bugs to go along with just that one person. Just the same, it is estimated that 15 dead people exist for every one person who is currently alive today. There is an estimate that around 1,000 to 2,000 people worldwide every year get the bubonic plague. This is what bubonic plague looks like under a microscope. There exists a condition called fatal familial insomnia. This condition is rare but can begin in anybody at most any point in their life. This condition results in a person typically starting with mild insomnia, leading to the inability to sleep. Eventually, the person will stop sleeping altogether, and the person will eventually deteriorate to the point where brain functionality ceases and they eventually die. There is currently no known cure. Space is very cold, sitting on average around minus 453 degrees Fahrenheit or 270 degrees Celsius. This is not the coldest temperature, however, as the coldest temperature can be measured to be 459.67 degrees Fahrenheit or 273.15 degrees Celsius. In the Cleveland Public Library, there is a Quran that is bound in the flesh of the original owner of the book. The book hasn't really been shown due to the taboo of body modification in the Islamic religion. It is estimated that around 2.5 to 3.5 million military personnel died during the over 12-year span of the Napoleonic Wars. That number is believed to go up to over 6 million if civilian casualties are included. For some anesthetics, it is not fully understood how they work. All we know is that they block pain and can render a person unconscious, but we don't understand the full science of why this really happens. Crows are known to recognize human faces and can even hold grudges against people. Blood travels in your body at around 3 feet a second. This is enough to pump 83 gallons of blood through your body in just 1 hour. Though there has only ever been one reported case, a man ripped a hole in his throat after holding in a sneeze. This resulted in enough pressure to rip a 2mm hole straight through his throat. The United States, over the course of a decade from 1950s to the 1960s, has managed to lose 6 different nuclear weapons, with none of them being found to this day. All of them potentially pose a risk of accidental detonation. This is what the skull of a child looks like before their adult teeth come in. In the original story of Sleeping Beauty, she is not awoken by true love's kiss, and is instead assaulted by the king in her sleep, and she eventually has 2 of his kids. The king then kills his wife so he can be with Sleeping Beauty instead. At exactly 8:16:02 a.m. on August 6, 1945, the Little Boy atomic bomb would detonate 1,968 feet above Hiroshima, and exactly 1 second later, the fireball would reach its maximum size of 900 feet in diameter. The temperature experienced on the ground above where the bomb went off would have reached 7,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 3,871 degrees Celsius. Approximately nearly 2 people die every second, around 106 people die every minute, and around 150,000 die daily. The population of the entire world in 1 week will consume a total of 5 grams of microplastic through eating, drinking, and breathing. This is the equivalent of 1 credit card's worth of microplastic. There exists a condition named fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. This condition is very rare, but very serious. This condition makes it to where your body will replace muscle tissue, as well as ligaments and tendons, with bone over time. After enough time has passed, your body will basically become a statue, and you will no longer be able to move. There is a thing in space called the Great Attractor. This is a region of space in which many galaxies are moving towards. It's not known what the Great Attractor is, and it is really difficult to observe due to the Milky Way blocking it. All we know is that hundreds of thousands of galaxies are moving towards it. It is estimated that around 7,000 people around the world die each year due to doctors' bad handwriting. In 541 to 549 AD, there was an outbreak of the bubonic plague named the Justinian Plague. This plague ravaged through the Mediterranean basin and Europe and claimed the lives of between 15 and 100 million people. The worst part of this, however, was it was reported that people would die within just mere hours of showing symptoms. People who have eaten human meat have said it is similar in taste and consistency to pork. In a blind taste test, most people probably wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between the two. Around 1 in every 50 people have an unruptured brain aneurysm, which means about 6.5 million people have one waiting to burst right now. To go along with that fact, a brain aneurysm occurs around every 18 minutes. Your lungs have the perfect environment to gestate a fir tree seed. This is due to the moist environment, along with the carbon dioxide and oxygen-rich atmosphere in your lungs. In 2009, a Russian man named Artyom Sidorkin was found to have a fir tree seed growing in his lungs after he had been coughing blood for several weeks. Doctors had assumed it was lung cancer, and when they looked, they discovered that he had swallowed a fir tree seed, which led to a tree growing in his lung. It is believed that the Vikings had a form of ritualistic punishment named the Blood Eagle. Although not 100% confirmed to exist, this punishment would involve a person having their back cut open. Upon this happening, they would have their ribs broken backwards, their lungs would then be pulled out and stretched across their broken ribs. If this was a real form of punishment, almost everybody who experienced it would have died before the ritual could be completed. It has been discovered that fresh urine is actually cleaner than the saliva in your own mouth. This is because urine goes through a sterilization process, where not all, but most of the bacteria is killed in the process of creating it, whereas saliva sits in your mouth, which is one of the dirtiest parts of the entire human body. This is the sound of radiation waves converted into sound waves from a black hole. This is a picture of a Domidex, or a follicle mite. These mites can exist in colonies of 1 to 2,000, and the creepiest part is that they live in your skin and feed on dead skin cells to stay alive. Around 1 million people die per year due to viruses contracted from mosquitoes. It is also estimated that around half of all human life that has ever existed has died to viruses contracted from mosquito bites. At 12:40 p.m. on August 31st, 1939, Adolf Hitler would order his troops to begin the invasion of Poland. Great Britain and France would declare war on Germany on September 3rd at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. respectively. This would mark the beginning of World War II. At exactly 7 a.m. on January 24th, 1989, Ted Bundy would be executed via electric chair in Florida State Prison. There exists a radio station named UVB-76. This radio station only plays completely static white noise. It will, however, occasionally pick up Russian broadcasts and play them momentarily. It is not known who or what runs the radio station or where it is even coming from. Even creepier is the fact that the radio station has been going since 1982, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, without ever taking a break. During the reign of the Aztecs, it was believed that children's tears could end droughts. To accomplish getting these tears, they would ensure the kid was terrified and knew they were going to die before then killing them on an altar. If you don't get enough sleep, the brain will actually begin to eat away at neuron connections, old cells, decaying cells, and eventually the lining of the brain itself. The exact reason for this isn't known, as we don't even truly know why we need sleep. There exists an amoeba called Naegleria fowleri. This amoeba lives in freshwater lakes, rivers, ponds, and hot springs. If the amoeba enters through the nasal passage, it can find a way into your brain, which in turn will begin eating away at the tissue inside of your brain. This amoeba causes an infection known as primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. This disease has proven fatal to 97% of people who have received the infection. They have all died within just a couple weeks of receiving the infection, and there is no known cure. Your eyes have something called immune privilege, which means your immune system won't attack those areas in the typical way that our immune system deals with infections. However, if your eye is damaged, it can release proteins into your body that is unrecognizable to your immune system. In turn, your immune system will attack the eye tissues as it views it as foreign material. This can, and most likely will, result in permanent blindness. This is what is believed to have caused Louis Braille's blindness. I thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. If you would like to see more videos like this, please let me know. And if you did enjoy it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.